All right, guys, I'm back. So, last week I felt led really to do a video on meatloaf, and I remember, I know I uploaded it just recently, 3 days ago, but I recorded it last week, as in last weekend, Saturday evening. I was recording this one, and I initially wanted to do originally another video exposing more symbolism because I kind of felt like I started a symbolism series, so I kind of want to bring it to an end. I mean, I want to continue. I don't know exactly how many videos this is gonna be, but it's definitely interesting, right? So we have right here, just to remind you, police ties and connection to Freemason. We got the occult meaning of the number 33. We got unfruitful works of darkness, occult symbolism, and corporate logos. Part one and part two. So I figured, the next thing is gonna be something to that effect. And but I got sidetracked with meatloaf, and I felt a strong urge, and it was an answer prayer. And so today, I figured I am off work until Monday. Pretty much since Wednesday, I've been at home, and I did get some work done at home that I needed to do as well, and spend time with my family and Mary and everything. But at the same time, the second half of March is really, really busy for me. So I figured, why not, since I have the time, make a video this weekend. And so I figured I'm going to do another symbolism one, and I've been thinking about what to cover. And then I remember that there was something that I said as well in one of the old videos. I don't know anymore which one, but I mentioned it in one of my videos. It might have been in this one, in the Unfruitful Works, when did I upload this? 3 weeks ago. Yeah, that I will do a video. I'll make a video on symbolism in Central Intelligence Orders, right? Like the CIA, the FBI, and so on and so forth. And as I was doing some research, I gotta say I found a lot, and so that's what we're gonna cover today. So let's go immediately and start with this, because this is gonna be a meaty one. I don't know if I'm gonna finish everything in an hour. I hope so. But if not, and if I find more after we cover the main three ones, then there will be a part two as well. But so let's start. We're gonna start with the CIA. Let's see from their website. As you can see, this is the CIA.gov website. In their own words, what their seal is and what it means to them, right? About the CIA seal. The CIA seal is a hallmark of original headquarters building lobby. The large granite seal, which measures 16 feet in diameter, has been the symbol of the CIA since February 17, 1950. This emblem is composed of the eagle, the shield, and the 16-point compass star. The eagle is our national bird and stands for strength and alertness. The 16-point compass star represents the convergence of intelligence data from around the world at a central point. The shield is the standard symbol of defense. U.S. policymakers' decisions that defend our country through the intelligence that we gather. This seal is one of the most identifiable symbols of the CIA, and it has appeared in many entertainment and documentary motion pictures. So that's pretty much what they give, and then there's the video there. Now, let's take a look at what the symbolism in reality means, because this is in their own words. Well, first of all, let's start with the basic one that pretty much you guys all know, which is the circle. As I say here, the circle, the sun disk, the sacred hoop ring, an ancient universal symbol of unity, wholeness, infinity, the idol as female power, and the sun. To earth-centered religions throughout history, as well as to many contemporary pagans, who represents feminine spirit force, cosmos, spiritualism on earth, and a sacred space. Gnostic traditions link the unbroken circle to the world serpent forming a circle as eats his own tail, and that is the Ouroboros. I already exposed that in one of the other videos, so we won't have to cover that one. Let's continue right here. What the eagle means. All right, now there's quite a few information on the eagle, as the eagle and the double-headed eagle in Freemasonry. In Scottish Rite Freemasonry has both as significance. So we're gonna look a little bit at both, and this is in their own words. So this is from Freemasonry, FreemasonInformation.com. Right. So let's see what they have to say about this symbol. More noble than the Roman eagle. What makes the Masonic apron so special? Aquila, better known in Masonic parlance as Roman eagle, was considered in ancient times to be a symbol of strength, courage, and immortality. The signa militaria of the Roman military under Gaius Marius, 104 BC, the war standard was made of silver and bronze and served more as a holy war relic than mere militaristic emblem of the Roman legions. Wells, in his Masonic short talk of 1915, says of the eagle that it was adopted by the Romans upon their banners in it. Signified magnanimity and fortitude, or as in the ancient sacred writings, swiftness and courage. In antiquity, the Romans were not the first to make use of the eagle as an emblem of war. As Wells cites, the Persians under Cyrus the Younger, second, I guess, had borne the eagle upon their spears as a standard. Oh no, this is, I thought it meant second, but this is just some, I guess, from the quote. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know exactly what these three eyes mean, but let's continue reading. It's a more modern parlance. France, Russia, Prussia, Germany, and the United States have each in turn adopted the eagle variously as national symbol of identity and adorning the U.S. dollar. Today, in a style reminiscent of its depiction on similar Roman coinage from when it was adopted into Western material culture. Albert Mackey, in his Encyclopedia of Freemasonry, which is excellent. If you can get your hands on it, you should definitely get it. If you're a researcher, if you like to expose this, I have the online version. There's actually an online version of it, but if you can find it at a dollar store somewhere, at a used bookstore or I meant a used bookstore. If you can find it at a used bookstore, just definitely get it. I bet you can find it as well on Amazon or eBay. It's a good read. Now, in his Encyclopedia of Freemasonry, he says that of the eagle is a symbol of great antiquity, calling into reference Egyptian, Greek, Persian symbolism where the bird was sacred to the sun. He says, and I quote, "Among the pagans, it was an emblem of Jupiter, and with the Druids, it was a symbol of their supreme god. In the scriptures, a distinguished reference is in many instances made to the eagle, especially do we find Moses in Exodus, 19:4, representing Jehovah, I think it's 19:4, as saying an allusion to the belief that this bird assists the feeble young in their flight by bearing them upon its own opinions. Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians. I think it's 19:4. Let's actually, let's jump in the Bible and see it for ourselves. Exodus 19. Let's see if that's what it is. Verse number 4. Yep. Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Right. Right, and it's actually, he is quoting the King James Bible. Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Not less elevated was the symbolism on the eagle among the pagans. Thus Cicero, speaking of the myth of Ganymede, carried up to Job on eagle's back, says that it teaches us that truly wise, irradiated by the shining light of virtue, become more and more like God, until by wisdom they are borne aloft and soar to him. Become more and more like God. Where do we see that in the Bible? Who wants to be like God? Well, let's take a little look-see here. That we also read a little bit in our Bible, which is, I believe, more important. We can expose some of these lies. Let's take a look at Isaiah 14. Let's read verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. But look at what God says. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. All right, so you say, well, this is the Old Testament. Well, let's read the New Testament. Let's take a look at 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Let's see. Right, verse 4. Who oppose, actually verse 3 and 4. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first. And the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposed and exalted himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, shewing himself that he is God. Right? So this is Lucifer, the son of perdition, right? Satan. Now, let's go back and read more of this article. While Mackey goes deep into the meanings behind the eagle, the suggestion that the Masonic apron is more noble than the Roman eagle implies that its receipt is an honor greater than being a member of the famed Roman legion, which may lend itself to some pull up to particular military association with Masonry today. An interesting consideration of the Roman legion was their early and then later composition. In the early period of the empire, the legion was composed of Levite soldiers who supplied their own equipment that would form as needed, disbanding when not. Essentially, to serve meant you were a citizen of the empire. When the Rome army began to experience inadequate staffing because of the income of property qualifications of citizenry, of its citizenry, Consul Gaius Marius removed the pre-qualifications of service, wealth, and social class, allowing all free people of the empire eligible for the army. This change created a first volunteer professional stand-in army. That openness to everyone, regardless of class or social standing, is a parallel we find among the ranks of Freemasonry today. Some suggest that the Roman eagle was a European trade symbol coming from the Hanseatic League, a confederation of merchants, guilds that stretched from the Baltic to the North Sea and inland during the late Middle Ages and an early modern period. Around 13th to 17th century, the Hanseatic League evolved to protect economic interests and diplomatic privileges along trade routes, cities, and countries where its members did business. One Masonic source says of the Hanseatic League that its members had their headquarters at Lubeck and adopted the arms of Lubeck, which at this time was a Roman eagle and appears on the seal of the Hanse. They also called themselves the Knights of the Holy Roman Empire. Right. The League's coat of arms is a double-headed eagle rather than the Aquila eagle, so this connection to the apron seems less legitimate, other than its being a pre-Enlightenment trade guild similar to the Guild of the Golden Fleece. An interesting parallel in the Hanseatic League connection is the guild's factory routes, which one could London find Masonic parallels, including no man older than 50 years or younger. Then 18 winners could be received. Anyone who committed what had been forbidden was to be cast out and driven from the community. No one should have a woman within the burgh be absent from it for 3 nights. These rules helped the League work in foreign countries as they formed among the alien populations in which they would place semi-monastic establishments. Yet, in this double-headed eagle, we can still find some parallels to drive with the Roman eagle, Mackey says of the emblem. And he continues reading. And this is all about the double-headed eagle, and I'm not going to read the whole chapter. Why? Because I have another blog on the Masonic eagle, because I want you to get a little bit more different information than just from Mackey. But if you want to read the rest of the article for yourself, I will definitely link it up for you guys, for sure. Now, let me actually close these as we continue reading. It's just easier for me to navigate. And then let's go to some more stuff here. Where's the eagle? Give me 1 second here, right here. Right, here we go, the two-headed eagle. The two-headed eagle is theorized to originate from ancient Mesopotamia. It was a representation of Polycephalus, multi-headed beast that were spoken of in legends and myths. Over the years, the symbol was continuously used in flags, engraved in metallic work, garment embroidery, and many other places. It was first used as a Freemasonry symbol in 1759. At the time, it delineated two bodies merging into one. The two-headed Masonic eagle is also known as the Eagle of Lagash. The name originated from the oldest symbol in the ancient Sumerian city of Lagash. In Freemasonry, the double-headed eagle is a symbol of the 33rd degree of the Scottish Rite, which is the highest degree in the Scottish Rite. It's used as a symbol of completed alchemical process. In alchemy, the eagle represents purified sulfur and portrays a rising spirit. It stands for the reconciliation between man and spirit. Where was that? One sec. Right here. First of all, let's read what they say the seal and motto is. History and heraldry of the seal. Over the years, the FBI seal has undergone several significant changes. In its early years, the Bureau used the Department of Justice seal. The first official FBI seal was adopted in 1935, modifying the Department of Justice logo by adding Federal Bureau of Investigation and Fidelity, Bravery, and Integrity to the outer band. In 1940, Special Agent Leo Gauthier, a draftsman, artist, and illustrator, presented a new design based on the earlier Bureau flag that he had created. This design was readily accepted and has been the Bureau's symbol ever since. Each symbol and color in the FBI seal has special significance. The dominant blue, it is 13 stars. Okay, cool. Field of the seal and the scales on the shield represents justice. The endless circle of 13 stars denotes the unity of purpose and exemplified by the original 13 states. 13 means rebellion in Christian numerology, right? 13 is that number of rebellion, right? Now, the laurel leaf has since early civilization symbolized academic honors, distinguished, and fame. There are exactly 46 leaves in the two branches. Since there were 46 states in the Union when the FBI was founded in 1908. The significance of the red, the white, and the parallel stripes lies in their colors. Red traditionally stands for courage, valor, strength, while white conveys cleanliness, light, truth, and peace. As in the American flag, the red bars exceeded the white one. The motto, fidelity, bravery, integrity, simply describes the motivating force behind the men and women of the FBI. The peaked, beveled edge, which circumscribes the seal, symbolizes severe challenges confronting the FBI and the ruggedness of the organization. The gold color in the seal conveys its overall value. It has come to the attention of the FBI that fair use warnings accompanied by an image of the FBI, seal, or similar insignia have been posted on various websites, giving the appearance that the FBI has created or authorized these notices to advise the public about the fair use doctrine in the U.S. copyright law. The FBI recognizes that the fair use of copyright materials as codified in Title 17, United States Code Section 107, does not constitute infringement. These warnings, however, are not authorized or endorsed by the FBI. Unauthorized use of the FBI seal or colorable imitations may be punishable under Title 18, United States Code Section 701, 709, of applicable law. More information about copyright law and fair use available from the Library of Congress, the U.S. Copyright Office at copyright.gov. Fidelity, bravery, the FBI motto. The origins of the FBI's motto may be traced to a brief comment by Inspector W.H. Strain Lester, the editor of the Employee magazine Investigator, in September 1935. FBI. At least we have the name that lends itself to dignified abbreviation, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, which quite naturally becomes FBI. In the past, our nicknames, which the public are so prone to give us, have been many and varied. Justice agents, DJ men, government men are but a few of them, with the Bureau itself incorrectly referred to as Crime Bureau, Identification Bureau, and Crime Prevention Bureau. The latest appellation, perhaps the one which has become most widespread, is G-Men, an abbreviation itself for government men. But FBI is best, and one from which we might well choose our motto. Those initials also represent the three things for which the Bureau and its representatives always stand: fidelity, bravery, integrity. All right, so this is from the FBI.gov page, okay? This is their own description of what they believe. Okay, we already looked at the circle symbolism. Now, let's see some more symbols right here. All right, so let's take a look at a scale, okay? This is all I could find, what it means in Freemasonry. Scales, pair off, right? A pair of scales right here. This is from MasonicShop.com. It says, "Let me be weighed in an even balance," said Job, "that God may know mine integrity." And Solomon says that a false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. So we find that among the ancients, a balance or a pair of scales was a well-known recognized symbol of strict observation, justice, and fair dealing. This symbolism is also recognized in Freemasonry, hence the degree of Princess Jerusalem, the duty of which is to administer justice. In the inferior degrees, a pair of scales is the most important symbol. Right. Now this is from another Masonic site, obviously. Let's go back to this. What else do we see here? Well, we got the 13 pentagram stars. I already exposed the pentagram in an old video, so I'm not going to look into the star symbolism again. Let's take a look at, and you can right here see the just balance, right? Let's take a look at the laurel wreath. If we go back, right here it says that there are 2 laurel branches, right? The laurel wreath. Well, let's take a look at that. What does that mean? What does the laurel branch mean? Right here, the Masonic trowel. The meaning of the laurel. The laurel, commonly used in wreaths, plays an important role in 3 Masonic, Scottish Rite, Southern jurisdiction degrees, namely the 4th degree, the Secret Master, and the 27th degree, Knight Commander of the Temple, and the 32nd degree Master of the Royal Secret. But what does the laurel represent? It is interesting to note that in ancient times, a wreath of laurel was given to the victor in the Pythian Games, whereas the victor in the Olympic Games was given a wreath of wild olives. The Nemean Games, a wreath of green parsley. The laurel was said to communicate the spirit of prophecy and poetry, and it was seen as a purifying plant with powers of immortality. It was therefore common to put laurel leaves under one's pillow to gain inspiration through dreams. Today, the laurel is seen as a symbol for peace and victory. In the 4th degree, the laurel signifies the hopeful expectation of success in the search for the true word, and is prominently displayed on the apron. The parallels to victory are thus very evident in this degree. The 27th degree teaches us that the laurel symbolizes the good opinion of our that our brethren have for us, and again is prominently displayed on the apron. The laurel is also used in the ceremony, symbolizing victory over the passions, and is given a candidate at the end of the ceremony. The meaning of the laurel in the 32nd degree is not explained, but probably refers again to victory being the last degree. Interesting. So again, I will leave all of these titles linked up. You can look at it yourself. Now, let's go to the last one for the day that we will cover, which is the NSA. Now, we take a look at the NSA. Again, we're going to read in their own words what they explain this to be, and then we're going to take a look at the real symbolism. National Security Agency insignia. When the NSA was established, again, this is from the NSA.gov website, okay? In their own words. When the NSA was established in 1952, it had no emblem. The new organization simply used the Department of Defense emblem. William F. Friedman, the father of modern American cryptology, suggested to the director LTG Ralph Kanan in 1955 that there be a design competition for an NSA emblem, but the idea was not accepted. NSA adopted as its own emblem the first WHO in 1963. There is no information available as to the origin or design that the first emblem is. Its earliest note was used on the cover of the February 1963 newsletter. The second emblem, the one still in use today, first appeared in September 1966. The second emblem was designed under the instructions of L.T.G. Marshall Carter, who became director in June 1963. As the designer, Richard Nachman of the agency's graphic design branch recalls that he was summoned one day in 1965 to the director's office and asked to design a new emblem. Something unique was his only guidance. After researching the heraldry at the Library of Congress, he prepared a new emblem. LTG Carter approved it on the spot. There was no special announcement or ceremony for the new emblem. NSA first emblem, 1963. The most interesting feature of the new emblem was the substitution of the words the United States of America for Department of Defense. This was done because Carter believed NSA should emphasize its national mission and should de-emphasize its mission and position within the Department of Defense. NSA has retained the Carter emblem ever since. The NSA flag carries a representation of the emblem and was designed about a year later. It was designed arbitrarily by Mr. Nachman when the director requested a flag. Apparently, no effort was made to imbue the flag with any special symbolism. According to Mr. Nachman, the final choice of colors for the NSA emblem was made for aesthetic reasons rather than symbolic ones. The particular combination, shades of red, white, and blue, look good together. However, these colors do carry heraldic meaning. White represents purity, blue stands for vigilance, perseverance, and justice, while red denotes valor. Central Security Service insignia. In 1996, NSA Director Lieutenant Kenneth A. Minahan, Lieutenant General Kenneth A. Minahan, USAF, requested an emblem he created which represented both the National Security Agency and the Central Security Service. Although the NSA had its own emblem, one had yet not been made for the CSS. As a result, the emblem was designed and adopted in the year the Intelligence Authorization Act, fiscal year 2002, enacted on the 28th December, amended the National Security Act of 1947, and codified the USCG as part of the intelligence community. The new CSS seal was created in September 2002 to reflect the transformations taking place within the intelligence community, and NSA CSS, particularly the admission of the United States Coast Guard into the United States cryptologic system. Updated in 2022, the seal now displays all 6 service cryptologic components, which are comprised of United States Fleet Cyber Command, the United States Marine Corps, Director of Intelligence, and the United States Army Intelligence and Security Command. The 16th Air Force, representing both United States Air Force and United States Space Force services, and the U.S. Coast Guard, Deputy Assistant Commander for Intelligence. Each are equally balanced around a 6-point star, which is centered on the symbol of the NSA CSS, who provides the founding direction and guidance to all America's SIGINT activities. The House of Representatives recognized the USCG's national security objectives in the areas of maritime interception operations, port operations, security and defense, military environmental response operations, and peacetime military engagement. The USCG is the only organization that is responsible for law enforcement, intelligence, and military activities simultaneously. Section 10 of the authorization added the USCG as an element of the intelligence community and placed this organizational element on a par with those other armed services and agencies. Now, I'm not going to look into all of this. We already looked at right here the eagle. We looked at the circle symbolism more than once. We looked at the star symbolism. Now, what we're going to take a look at, some of the other symbolism right here, okay? We see the anchor symbolism and the ark, okay? The anchor is used a lot in Christian symbolism and has been adopted by Freemasons to have a similar meaning. Basically, it represents hope as well as peace against stormy weather. An anchor is used quite literally as a way of grounding a ship. Some way the symbol talks about living a life that is grounded in hope and peace. Now, do I have it right here? Let's take a look. If I have the anchor right here. Other Masonic symbols include the beehive, the acacia tree, the 47 problem of Euclid, the Ark of the Covenant, the anchor, cable toe, sheep, a corn gal, blazing star. Here's a resource explaining some less well-known Masonic symbols. Let's take a look at some of these. Let's see if I can find the anchor right here. There we go. The anchor and the ark. Lectures of Masonry, the anchor and the ark combine as symbols as well-spent life. The anchor is a symbol of hope, and the ark, like Noah's boat, is a symbol of faith. This is Freemasonry for Dummies. All right, so we saw some of these other symbols, like the anchor. We just read that. Let's take a look at more symbolism. I'm not going to expose the star again. I already exposed that hexagram in the Dream Theater series, so make sure you catch up with some of that symbolism. You can watch it in the rest of my videos. let's take a look at some of the things that I have not exposed. Let's take a look at the key symbolism. What does the key mean in Freemasonry? Now, the key. The key, says Dr. Oliver, Landmarks 1, page 180, is one of the most important symbols of Freemasonry. It bears the appearance of a common metal instrument confined to the performance of one simple act. But to the well-instructed brother beholds in it the symbol which teaches him to keep a tongue of good report and to abstain from the basing vices of slander and defamation. Among the ancients, the key was a symbol of silence and circumspection. And thus, Sophocles alludes to it in the Oedipus Coloneus, line 105, where he makes the chorus speak of the golden key which had come upon the tongue of the ministering Hierophant in the mysteries of Eleusis Callimachus, says that the priestess of Ceres bore a key as the ensign of her mystic office. The key was in the mysteries of Isis a hieroglyphic of the opening or disclosing of the heart and conscience in the kingdom of death for trial and judgment. I believe this is by Mackey as well. I'm not sure. I got this from a Freemasonic website. In the old instructions of Freemasonry, the key was an important symbol, and Dr. Oliver regrets it has been abandoned in the modern system. In the ceremonies of the first degree in the 18th century, allusion is made to a key by whose help the secrets of Freemasonry are to be obtained, which keys is said to hang and not to lie, because it is always to hang in a brother's defense and not to lie to prejudge. It was said to hang by the thread of life at the entrance, and was closely connected with his heart, because the tongue ought to utter nothing but what the heart dictates. And finally, this key is described as being compassed of no metal but a tongue of good report. In the ceremonies of the false master's degree, in the Adonhiramite rite, we find this catechism in the Recueil Précieux, page 87. What do you conceal? All secrets which have been entrusted to me. This is one of the questions that they have to answer, right? Now let's take a look what else it says. All of this shows the key as a symbol was formerly equivalent to the modern symbol of the instructive tongue, which, however, with almost the same interpretation, has now been transferred to the second or fellow crass degree. The key, however, is still preserved as a symbol of secrecy in the Royal Arch degree, and is also presented to us in the same sense in the ivory key of the secret false master or the fourth degree of the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite. In many of the German lodges, an ivory key is made a part of the Masonic clothing of each brother to remind him that he should lock up or conceal the secrets of Freemasonry in his heart. But among the ancients, the key was also a symbol of power, and thus among the Greeks, the title of I don't know how to pronounce this, Seiaxis, or key bearer, was bestowed upon one holding high office. And with the Romans, the keys are given to the bride on the day of marriage as a token that the authority of the house was bestowed upon her. And if afterward divorced, they were taken from her as a symbol of the deprivation of her office. All pagan nonsense. Among the Hebrews, the key was used in the same sense as the robe and the baldric, as Loth Ezra, part 2, section 4, where the ensigns of power and authority, so likewise was the key, the mark of office, either sacred or civil. Thus in Isaiah 22:22 is said, the key of the house of David will I lay upon his shoulders, so he shall open and none shall shut, and he shall shut and none shall open. Let's take a look at Isaiah 22:22. We were there earlier on. Let's just head here to Isaiah chapter 22 and verse 22. And the key of the house of David will I lay upon his shoulders, so he shall open and none shall shut, and he shall shut and none shall open. You see how they pretend to be Christians, right? Right here it says, our Savior expressed a similar idea when he said to St. Peter, I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven. It is in references, interpretation of the symbol, and not that secrecy, that the key has been adopted as the official jewel of the treasure of the lodge, because he has the source of power under his command. They claim to be Christians, yet they have all these different symbols and all these secret rituals, and nothing more but deceivers, okay? Now, let's go and take a look at the colors. Right now we have the colors. We forgot to see that as well here with the with the FBI, which pretty much have the same colors, I believe. Let's take a look at the FBI logo. Right. It has red, and we will take a look at these colors as well. We take a look at the red, the white, the yellow. Let's take a blue. Let's take a look at the black. White, sorry. White is the symbol of purity. The reasons for adopting this conception being obvious, therefore, masonry is probably the color adopted for certain of the garments of investiture of a candidate. Let's take a look at blue. Blue is the supreme color of masonry. First, because it's that color which, among all those used in masonry, is the unquestioned Masonic possession of every Mason. The Royal Arch Mason may attempt to appropriate to himself the red. The imperfect master may feel himself the exclusive proprietor of the green and the black, and so on. But blue is acknowledged by every Mason to belong to us all, and no Mason, whatever his degree, questions the false master Mason's ownership of blue. Second, blue is the supreme color because it has coupled with its universality a place in symbolism which, both as regards importance of lessons taught and as regards legitimacy as a symbol, is second to that of no Masonic color. The use of blue in religious ceremonials and as a symbol comes to Masonry from many of the different peoples of antiquity. Among the Hebrews, various articles of high priest clothing were blue. One of the veils of the tabernacle was blue. In his initiation into the Druidical mysteries, the candidate was invested with a robe, one of whose colors was blue. The Babylonians clothed their idols in blue. The Hindu god Vishnu, Hindu idol Vishnu, was represented as blue. And among the medieval Christians, blue was considered a peculiarly important color. Now, blue was the symbol of perfection to the Hebrews, to the Druids the symbol of truth, to the Chinese the symbol of deity, and so to the medieval Christians it was the symbol of immortality. So for the Mason, the color of his false master Mason's lodge is a symbol of perfection, truth, immortality, and deity. Or, as we should, if we should read it properly, imperfection lies, mortality, and deity. Finally, and preeminently, and following the teachings and conceptions of the Egyptians, all the Hindus, blue is a symbol of that which the craftsman must, since he is a Mason, always revere, and of that which is false master Mason's lodge, when its work and its teachings are properly understood and accepted, cause him to progressively revere the more divine wisdom. Again, this is sourced from the Builder, July 1990. So this was written 100 years ago, and this is from Masonic Dictionary.com, which has been down for many years, but I always mention in the video so that people can know where I get it from, but I have the screenshots. Now, let's take a look at what else we got here. We got the green color as well. Green, being the unchanging symbol of various evergreen trees, shrubs, and so forth, is in the symbolistic system of Masonry the color symbolic of unchanging immortality of all that is divine and true. This conception Masonry has received from the ancients, more particularly the Egyptians. For example, with the Egyptians, as noted above, the Ptah was pictured as having green flesh. Also, the idol as Pash, the divine preserver, and Thoth, the instructor of men in the sacred doctrines of truth, more like in the unsacred, in the non-sacred doctrines of lies, were both painted with green flesh. So the Mason, adhering once more, as he often does, to the conception of the Egyptians, chooses for his symbol the immortality of the soul, which he knows to be divine, and a true object, the acacia, whose color is unchanging green. Now, what else we got here? So we looked at the green, we looked at the white, we looked at the blue. Let's take a look at the red color. Red is the color of fire, and fire was to the Egyptians a symbol of regeneration and the purification of souls. Hence, in a Masonic system, red is the symbol of regeneration. Thus, red is the color assigned to the Royal Arch degree, since that degree teaches the regeneration of light. Now, what else we have here? Let's take a look at yellow. Yellow was to the ancients the symbol of light. Though unemphasized and seemingly almost unrecognized in Masonry, yellow is nevertheless a true Masonic symbolic color, since it symbolizes to the Mason the great thing, to the finding of which his Masonic search is devoted, and to the source which his Masonic pathway leads, the light of lies. Because it is false enlightenment, right? That's why it's the light of lies, even though they say it's the light of truth. And again, you see all these disgusting symbolic symbolisms and all that, and we looked at the colors. Now we looked here as well at blue, at red, and white. Let's go a little bit back right here in the insignia picture. We looked at the key symbolism. Right here we have the lightning bolt. Let's see what the Bible says, who the lightning bolt is. Because clearly Luke teaches that, where Jesus said, I beheld Satan, all right, as lightning. So let's take a look at Luke chapter 10 and verse number 19, which says, verse 18, and he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Okay, so we know that Satan symbolizes that lightning, okay? And I'm not going to look into each and every one of those. You got here again the lightning bolt. We looked at the anchor. We could look at some more of these, but I don't really think that it's important for this video right now. So this would be your NSA, okay? That was their logo and insignia. Now, there's another one. National Security Agency Office of Inspector General, watchful and wise, says the NSA OIG logo is designed to communicate its role in advancing the agency's mission through independent oversight, featuring the image of an owl associated for centuries with watchfulness of wisdom, key traits for an OIG. It reflects the office's core values: oversight, integrity, independence, and transparency. The owl holds in its talons the lightning key. Notice the word lightning again. And he said unto him, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. And we looked at the key as well just now, representing the agency's combined signals, intelligence, and cybersecurity missions. All garbage. We see the same colors here. Okay. Now let's take a look at the owl. And I found this in a great blog, the symbol right here. The owl symbol of the Freemasons. Now, I'm not going to read all of this because it goes into some medieval stuff and so on. I will link it down. You can read the rest for yourself if you want to read all of it. We will take a look at the symbol of the Illuminati and Freemasonry. The owl symbolism with the occult and secret knowledge has a long history. Since the times of the Greeks and the Romans, the owl, ruler of the night, was a guardian of the underworlds inhabited by demons, or as I like to say, devils, because that's what the Bible calls it. An owl was always on the shoulder of the Minerva and Athena, goddesses of wisdom and learning, symbolizing the occult knowledge of the pagan gods. Right? Pagan gods / idols, right? Goddesses / idolatesses. All right, since the Illuminati pretend to be the wise rulers of the planet, maintaining and passing on the secret knowledge of the ancient deities, that is, devils, the owl became one of their symbols, as unblinking large eye represents the all-seeing eye of the Illuminati that never closes. I don't think they pretend. I think that they are. I mean, yes, sure, they are, pretending, but they're deceiving the whole world and getting everybody, since they rule everything, right? Now, we already know, I'm not going to go into who's at the top of the pyramid. I do believe it's Satan himself, and right under it is the Vatican and the Pope and the Black Pope and all of that. I'm not going to get into all of that. I have videos on it which you can watch, but still, I think it's very, very interesting how, why did he say they pretend to be? Well, yeah, they pretend to be, but they are ruling us. The 1% rules the 90, right? 99. All right. Look at the symbolism on the dollar bill. You get your 12 and your 12 with your 33 right here, okay? There are other great videos that expose this to a T. I'm not going to do that now. Because the owl's eyes seem to not move, it moves its neck and turns its head completely around to see another sign of the occult sex, which through their initiated agents can see where normal men cannot. And like the owl, the Freemasons gather in secret far from the light of day. Freemasons also consider the owl a symbol of reincarnation. Since it is awake at night, they consider it as a symbol of the soul that has dead body and remains in the night, waiting to re-enter another body that is being conceived. For them, the owl symbolizes metempsychosis, which is their theory of reincarnation of the soul. Thus, the old owl from our nursery tales acquires a more sinister aspect. As some of the reasons why I told my friend that most probably the owner of that pleasant Spanish-style house we visited was a Freemason. Now, he's speaking here of this, I don't know exactly what. I have not really read this before, the whole thing. Nevertheless, I will put this in the in the comment section so you can read it for yourself. All right. And finally, let's see some more symbols. Right here, we have 32 Masonic symbols and what they mean. It says Freemasonry is a system of morality veiled in allegory and illustrated by symbols. Today we're taking a closer look at the most recognized Masonic symbols, 32 to be exact, and give an explanation of what they mean and represent. This will be a very specific long read, but it says if you're looking to know more about certain specific Masonic symbols, you can use the table of contents provided below to find what you're looking for. The click on button. All right. Now I'm not going to go through all of this. You got the acacia, we got the all-seeing eye, or as they call it, the eye of providence, the Masonic eye. Again, this is from MasonicFind.com, so this is in their words. Let's take a look at the square and the compasses. Are one of the most recognized Freemasonry symbols. Its origin is traceable back to the Middle Ages from the stonemason's guild. The square in Masonry symbolize morality and essence of the golden rule. To deal with someone squarely refers to treating the person the way we want to be treated. It indicates Masons' ability to apply the teachings of conscience and morality in testing and the rightness of their actions. The compass stands for the ability to mark a clear boundary around the desires of passion, represents self-restraint and control, which is the basis of morality and wisdom. Square and compasses combined serve as a reminder of Freemasons to explore personal desires and passions while maintaining morality. The letter G. The letter G appears inside the square and compass, sometimes as the center of blazing Masonic star. Its symbolism in Freemasonry often differs from one jurisdiction to another. Some say it refers to God, i.e., the Supreme Being. Others articulate its meaning to geometry, the study of the order, numbers, and mathematics, the sciences in general. And some lodges believe it stands for gnosis, the understanding of spiritual mysteries, which is a central part of the craft. Some Masons link the meaning of the letter G to Hebrew. In ancient Hebrew, the letter G had a similar numeric value of 3. In history, number 3 was used severally when referring to God as teacher. So on and so forth. I'm not going to look at all of them. We did see this, though, right in the FBI insignia, FBI logo. Let's actually take a look at it one more time. You can see it's right here. Okay. Right here. In the circle right here, as you can see, is the Masonic blazing star. Okay. Is said to represent the peak of a person's Masonic journey. Its symbolism in the craft has more than one meaning. First, the Masonic blazing star represents God, the highest being who shines his light upon us, making us better people in society. It also reminds Masons of God's omnipresent nature, indicating that he is with us regardless of where we are. Second, the Masonic blazing star represents the sun, which casts its rays upon the earth, giving everlasting life. Some ancient religions worship the sun, right? Third, it represents the Star of Bethlehem, which guided the 3 wise men to baby Jesus. In the Freemason laws, the Masonic blazing star leads members on a spiritual path to meet the Supreme Being. Fourth, it stands for prudence, the quality of being wise. Prudence guides Masons in living a life full of wisdom. Except we know that their light is Lucifer. Therefore, since Lucifer is counterfeiting pretty much everything, again, notice this. Let's reread this again, folks. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. This is not Jesus. This is Lucifer, okay? Then we have the apron, the Masonic lambskin apron, symbol of Freemason, embodies innocence, purity, commitment to Masonic ideals, made from white lambskin, signifies a new member's entrance into the brotherhood and serves as a reminder of the dedication for living a virtuous, honorable life. The apron worn during Masonic ceremony symbolizes the wearer's ongoing journey towards personal and ethical improvement. It's a visual representation of the Mason's promise to uphold core values, brotherhood, charity, and truth throughout their life. Here, the anchor and the ark. We already looked at the ark, the anchor, but here's another one. Let's read this as well. The anchor and the ark in Freemasonry is a symbol of hope and peace against life's challenges. The symbol was discovered in catacombs in Rome. It's believed that the person who lived in the tomb rested in a peaceful place. Using an anchor to represent hope is said to originate from Paul Apostle in the book of Hebrews, Hebrews 6:19, which hope we have as an anchor of the soul, both sure and steadfast and enduring, into that within the veil. This is the King James Bible that they're using. At the time, Christians were facing a lot of challenges, persecution. Those who managed to make it to the end were grateful. The anchor gave them hope to keep on going despite the challenges faced. That is why it's carved in their tombs. The ark, which was a ship in the Bible, represents the journey of life. According to the Masonic third degree, the two symbols combined offer reassurance to Masons that the divine ark will surpass stormy weather, bring them to a place of rest free from worldly wickedness. Garbage. Masonic shoe. The beehive, which is not very well known, but it is a Masonic old symbol. The beehive consists of a group of insects tirelessly working together to achieve a common goal. Similarly, the beehive, Freemasonry represents the importance of Masons coming together, mobilizing all efforts for one purpose. The concept behind the hive is to gather people with similar interests who can cooperate. The beehive also symbolizes form of work known as industry, crafts, different work types. In Freemasonry, work is vital. The virtues taught by Master Mason's instructions, works that he may receive wages to better to support himself and family, contribute to relief of worthy distress, brother, his widow, and orphans. Sheaf corn, 47 problem on Euclid, Masonic pavement. The Masonic pavement, one of the most recognized symbols of the fraternity. The floor Masonic lodges is made of mosaic pavements, various stones joined together form pattern in the form of a painting. It's said that King Solomon's temple flooring incorporated black and white mosaic pavements. Mosaic pavement designs in Freemasonry can be traced to the 18th century. At the time, most furniture was made from these. The pavement symbolized a bond uniting all members. You can see right here the trestle board, right? According to French Masons, the mosaic pavement educates members that they were once part of fraternity to bond people together. Hence, the pre-existing bonds should be maintained and strengthened. Is also a symbol of care and providence. Masons are taught as pillar of comfort and blessings, which shows a remembrance, the importance of relying on the divine providence of God. You can see here the trestle board, which is also you can see the skull and bones here, by the way, 322, which is also the checkerboard. It says right here, in some Masonic jurisdictions, trestle boards are referred to tracing boards. Some Masons, however, reject the notion that two are similar. Trestle board is a typical framework made of 3 vertical, horizontal, slanted cross pieces. Trestle boards are designed with master workmen. The outline plans of what needs to be done is similar to a blueprint. Operative Masons that use trestle boards purely to lay down the plans of a building before executing it. When Freemasons evolved from being operative stone masons, trestle board remained as a Masonic symbol of speculative realm. Today, it represents an ideal. It refers to the plan a Mason has for his life, also stands for a blueprint to improve current conditions. For example, Masons believe that the Enlightenment can pull people out of the miserable conditions they're facing. We got the black and the white. You see, that is the duality they teach. Again, white is the symbol of purity. Reasons for adopting this conception is being obvious. Therefore, Masonry is properly the color adopted for certain of the garments of vesture of a candidate. Black from the remotest antiquity has been a symbol of grief and such a significance to the Mason. We looked at the two-headed eagle already. Got the Masonic pillars, right? Boaz and Jachin. The two pillars are constructed at the entrance of Masonic lodges. In the Bible, two pillars known as Boaz and Jachin stood at the porch of Solomon's temple. Boaz was left hand, which meant in him is strength. The right hand pillar, Jachin, means he establishes. In Freemason, the two pillars symbolize opposite pairs. Wilmenhurst, whatever, described opposites as good and evil, light and darkness, active and passive, positive and negative, yes and no, outside and inside man and woman. Mason are taught how to create a balance between their own thoughts, external actions. Brother C.W. Ledbetter states that in a harmonious working of these two laws, a man may attain stability and strength required to reach the circle within which a Master Mason cannot earn. Master Mason cannot earn. It also represents life and death, which are total opposites. Masons believe that death is a necessity, extinguish that which is old and withering. This creates room for germinating young ideas and principles, and so on and so forth. Got the hourglass, scythe, the level, the Masonic keystone, point within a circle, target anyone, so pop. All right, let's take a look at Target. Right. Case in point. Wow. The broken column, the Masonic pencil, yeah. The number 7, huh? Sacred in the Bible, historical biblical recurrences are denoted by number 7. For instance, Solomon built a temple. 7 is in Freemasonry. 7 is linked to Pythagoras. Pythagoreans depicted 7 as perfect number because the summation of 3 and 4, which symbolically represents a triangle square, instead of perfect number that indicates completion. This explains why 7 members are required to make an ideal lodge. 3 principal officers, master masons, fellows, 2 fellows of craft, and 2 entered apprentices. Garbage. This is all nonsense. But anyway, I will link all of these in the description. Let's take a look at some of these. Let's take a look at NSA. You got your 7 right here, okay? We just read it. Wow. Let's take a look at the CIA, which I believe is 13. Yep. No coincidence right there. Let's take a look at the FBI. Wow. Can't make it up. You just can't make these numbers up. Again, that number 9. It totals the number 9. We looked already at the number 9. That is Satan's number. I'm not going to read all of that again. If you saw all this truth, how can you be ignorant? I pray that the Holy Ghost will knock at your door, will knock at your heart and convict you of your sins, and that you will truly turn to Jesus Christ. All you have to do is repent of your sins. If you are truly sorrowful, just go to the Lord and say, Lord, create in me a clean heart. Again, Acts 3:19 says, repent ye therefore and be converted, that your sins may be blotted out when the times of profession shall come from the presence of the Lord. And then Romans 10 teaches us that whosoever calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. If you truly ask the Lord for forgiveness and you want to turn from your wicked ways, and then you confess with your mouth the Lord Jesus, as verse 9 says, and shall believe in thine heart that God raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. For with the heart men believe unto righteousness, with the mouth confession made unto salvation. For Scripture saith, whosoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed. For there is no difference between the Jew and the Greek. For the same Lord over all is rich unto all that call upon him. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. You have to call on Jesus Christ to be saved, and I pray that you will. And I pray that this was a blessing. I'm going to try and continue making more videos of symbolism and, do even deeper research, try to find some more stuff. Next time, looking more as well into Mackey's Encyclopedia of Freemasonry as well. I kind of wanted to gather information from all sides and have a little bit more than one source for you guys. I pray that this was a blessing, and I'll see you guys for the next video. See you guys on Thursday as well for our premiere. I'm going to upload it hopefully now. Well, I will actually upload it now, and then I might put it an hour earlier. I don't know. I think because of work, I have some more time, so I'll do it an hour earlier than usual. But anyway, you'll see everything once I upload it. I hope this was a blessing, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. God bless.